Hello friends, and welcome to Shauna Stitches episode number 66. Today is December 31st, 2022, and this is the very last episode of 2022. Cheers! I'm drinking sparkling water. I don't know if, can you see it? Oh yeah, you can see it sparkling. Because later I will be drinking something else sparkling, definitely some champagne. I'm not a big New Year's Eve person. We'll be staying at home, but I'm definitely ready for a new year. A little fresh outlook, I think. Before I get too much into things, I will let you know that you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry. And Cody is chewing his bone, so hold on one second. Okay, hopefully that is our only interruption. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Shauna Stitches, pretty much anywhere else, although those are the main areas. All of my project pages will be linked down below. Anything I forget to say is probably in a project page. If for some reason you can't find it, it's going to be one of those days. If for some reason you can't find what you're looking for, please ask a question. I'm more than happy to answer or point you in the right direction. Also, another thing I always forget to say, if you enjoy the podcast, please like and subscribe. It helps other people find me and we can continue to build our community. All right. So I thought that I wasn't going to have a lot to show, and then I started compiling things, and I actually have a good number of things to show you today. The first finished object is an Advent project. This is what Devin Ventre is calling the Gumdrop hat. It has the ear flaps, pom-poms, a big pom-pom. I'll try and put this on, but no guarantees it's going to look very good. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks okay. So yeah, I finished this I finished it before we went to Arizona, but I made the pom-poms while we were in Arizona with all of the leftovers. So one thing I really liked about Devin's Advent this year is that she included projects to go with everything. So DK Way Advent, and I was able to use up every last scrap. I don't know how well these pom-poms are gonna hold together. I'm not a professional pom-pom maker by any means, and they always worry me. But for now, it's there. If I have to replace them with some store-bought ones later, totally fine. The next project I finished was the Gumdrop Cowl, and it goes with the hat. I should have left the hat on, although I don't think I could get this on with the hat on. So there is the cowl. Let's go ahead and throw the hat on. There we go. And if you'll remember from last episode, I also had the Gumdrop mitts to complete the entire look. So out of the 250 grams, because 10 grams a day, of DK weight, I was able to make the cowl, the hat, and the mitts. And I was surprised actually how much I had left every day. These pom-poms are quite thick. I suppose your experience might vary depending on your gauge and that sort of thing. But yes, I found I had more than enough yarn. So if you're wanting to knit these 3 projects, which are free on Ravelry, I would say you could knit them out of much less than the 250 grams if you aren't wanting to add the pom-poms. Cody's going to be a disruption today. Cody, lay down. All right. In case you didn't know, Cody is our big dog, and we have 2 little chihuahuas, and the chihuahuas are angels, and Cody is less than an angel. All right. Apparently he's sneezing and snorting and chewing on things. Hopefully he'll settle down and be quiet. All right, the next finished object I have to show you, I just finished yesterday. These are the DRK Everyday Socks, and the color is the 2022 Advent by the Cozy Knitter. This pattern has you start from the toe and work your way up. So let's see, I think my last stripe is this green one here. So if I would have only done the 24 stripes, I would have had a leg of about 24 rows and then the cuff, and I don't like short socks. So I continued on 32 stripes is what my sock is. I wear a women's size 9. These were knit on US 1, right? I never use the US sizes. 2.25, that's what I knit these on. A 9-inch circular. I can do the entire sock on the 9-inch, which is really nice. Oh, except for the toe. The toe I do on magic loop. And the white is just an undyed mini that I had in stash, nothing special. I'm not sure what else to say about these. Oh, I will say I did modify the pattern to be 64 stitches. It's written for 60 or 68. Cody's walking around again. I apologize for the click clacking because I know it comes across on the microphone very loud. I'm not sure why. I will try and edit it if it's possible. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, 64 stitches. So if you are interested in doing that, I have notes down below. It's not a difficult change, but I can see why Andrea Mowry did not write it to be for that stitch count. It's not hard. It's just, it wouldn't be easy to write, I think. And our finished object number 4. I forgot to put one of my finished objects in my show notes. Yes, I did. Okay. I just finished these today. I do have 2. This is the 2021. Yes, seriously, 2021 Mint Rain Advent. Again, 24 stripes. DRK Everyday Sock pattern. The difference is I did stockinette on the bottom of the foot and I did the rib on the top, and then the entire cuff is ribbed. I think these are also 64 stitches. I had finished the 24 stripes and then pretty much didn't touch them after that last year. So I was able to finish the leg on both. I had them both going, so that didn't take too long. This is my very last finish of the year, and I am quite happy to have these done. I still have one pair from 2021 that isn't done, and I have one from 2022 that isn't done, but I will show those in a bit. The next finished object I have to show you is a bit of a spoiler because it is the Zebra Yarns 12 Days of Christmas Advent. It starts on Christmas Day and goes till January 5th. I just happened to really enjoy them and I was traveling, so I have finished mine. So if you don't want to see what all 12 days looks like, go ahead and fast forward a minute or two, and or close your eyes and just listen, because I will show them. I won't say a whole lot about them. All right, so here we go. I have 2 socks. This is the Skyppy stripes pattern, free on Ravelry. Uses the skip stitch, which I love, and it's a free pattern. I did these toe up, 64 stitches. I use sort of the base of the DRK Everyday Socks, but with the different pattern, because that way I know when to start the increases for the gusset and do the heel and all that. So it just works out. I do have a regret about this pattern. As you can see, I have a very long, colorful leg here. I wish I would have known exactly how many stripes it was going to take to do the foot, because I would have interspersed, I don't know, maybe 4 rounds of this color in between every one, or maybe I would have done, I don't know. I would have done something different. I wouldn't have had this big section here. But this is my first time doing the Zebra Yarns Advent. What you got was 2 25-gram little cakes of yarn for the stripes, and then you got a 50-gram cake of the speckle. I love the colors. They are so beautiful. I just wish that I would have known a little bit more about the way my sock was going to knit up. That being said, if I do it again next year and it is similar, I will have a better idea. And you know, they're socks. They are 12 stripe socks. it's totally okay. Just not exactly the way I would have wanted them. If you were closing your eyes, looking away, what have you, you can go ahead and look back on the screen. That's all of the finished projects that I have. I do have a half finished object. Doesn't that look long? It's seriously the same size as this one, exactly the same. But it sure doesn't look like it, does it? How funny. Anyhow, this is the, I'm totally blanking, Freckled Whimsy 2022 Advent with ends not woven in yet. And the reason I finished the 2021 Mint Rain Yarns Advent was because I was too lazy to cast on the second toe. So I was still productive. I picked up a different sock. All right. So that is, oh, I have one more to show you. One work in progress other than that half object that I haven't started the second one. This one's a bit difficult to show. This is the Full of Minis hat by Barbara, I'm looking at my notes, Barbara Nalewko. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. She's knitting I love. And through no fault of hers, I am having to use more minis than the pattern calls for. I realized, I think you can probably even see, I realized probably about here that I was omitting a row from the pattern. That's quite important. So these stripes are a little more condensed and these ones are a little more spaced out. I think if I would have followed the pattern exactly, it would be better. I don't know. I might still have to use more. I like kind of a longer hat, but anyway, let me see how many I've put in. So I'm on the 21st color right now, and I think the pattern is written to use 19 or 21. I can't recall. I do like the way that this is fitting. It's a nice tight fitting hat. It would be very warm. So despite omitting that row, it seems that it still fits. It's just that the height is less. So you can see what I have to still do here. Once you get to the decreases, it's pretty rapid. So I'm just finding it a little bit difficult to know exactly when to start. But I think the pattern has you knit to something like 8 inches, and I am not to 8 inches yet. So I was really making a lot of progress on this hat, and then I don't know, I got sidetracked on something, which happens a lot to me. Okay, so that is all of our finished objects, half objects, works in progress that I'm going to show today. The next thing that I want to show you is what's next on my needles. I have a New Year's Eve cast on, which I don't even know if that's a thing, but I'm making it a thing. My mom decided that the twist and turn shawl just wasn't for her. It was too difficult, so she wanted to try something else. She picked the Pierre Shawl by Stephen West, which is a DK weight shawl. And some of my yarn fell on the floor here, so I'll be right back. All right, so I decided that I wanted to knit along with her, but I was only going to do that if I could find yarn in my stash. And luckily enough, I did. So the Pierre Shawl calls for 4 colors of DK weight. This happens to be worsted weight. It's the Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool, so it is 100% wool. And I was just going to do it one color because I knew I had at least one color in stash, but I really think it's going to be very awesome in these colors, so natural and really versatile. I've never made a thick weight shawl before, so it should be very warm. I'm trying to figure out where to put this yarn. I'm running out of room. And then one other thing, which I'm so excited about, I've been anticipating this for quite a while. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it throughout the years. For years now, I have wanted to partake in the Desert Vista Dyeworks yearly knit along. That's a knit along where you knit 1 pair of socks every month. It has to be started on the 1st or later and finished by the very last day of the month. And you have to use the Desert Vista Dyeworks yarn. So a hurdle for that for me before was I did not have any Desert Vista Dyeworks yarn. So over the last couple months, I have collected 12 skeins, which will get me through the year. And as you participate and finish socks, you earn discounts on the yarn throughout the next year. So, for example, if I finish January, February, and March, I can get up to 30% off in the Desert Vista Dyeworks shop. So my plan is to use that to buy 3 more skeins, which would be for 2024 if it's something I'm still interested in. So there's the label, Desert Vista Dyeworks. The Viso base is the 7525, and the color that I have picked first, I'm really not sure how to say that. I had to look it up on the internet. I think it's a place in France, Laduree. I have no French accent and no French, like I've never taken a French class, so I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but it's that and Macaroons. So Macaroons I can say. And this is what the color looks like. So it is yellow and mint green, pink, purple. I can't tell if it's black or brown. I think it's brown. So that is going to be my very first ever Desert Vista Dyeworks sock. And my plan for that knit along is to cast on the first of every month unless it's a work day, and then I'll cast on as soon as I can, and to focus only on that project until it's done every single month. That way there's no question of whether or not I'm going to get it done, because I really, really want to finish all 12. So today I'll be casting on the Pierre Shawl, and tomorrow I will be casting on those socks. So I'm very excited about all of that. I've alluded to a little bit in the beginning of the episode that Glenn and I have been on vacation and we went to Arizona. Cody's snoring. Anyway, we went to Arizona. We visited his dad and stepmom, and we went to Sedona, which had some really gorgeous views. We went on a lot of hikes, and we also went to the Grand Canyon, which was just amazing. I've never been there, and to be quite honest, even being there in person, it just didn't seem real. Like looking at it looked like I was looking at a picture. You just cannot even imagine the depth. It's really leaves me speechless, I guess. It's very interesting. So that was really a fun experience. We were supposed to hike down into the Grand Canyon just a couple miles and then back out on Christmas Day, but the trails were covered in ice. So we didn't want to fall and get hurt or, have an unpleasant time with that experience. So we just hiked around the Rim Trail, which is still really, really cool. Other than that, I had a lot of relaxation time and knitting time while we were gone. Although with all the hikes, I didn't take any knitting hiking. I was amazed how much I was still able to get done. The only other life stuff I really have is that I am going in for surgery on January 4th. So it's the first time I'm ever getting anesthesia, so I'll be put under, and I've never had that. I'm a little apprehensive about that part, but hopefully everything goes fine. So if you say a little prayer for me or think happy thoughts, healing thoughts, that would be wonderful, and I would appreciate it very much. I feel like I'm leaving something out. I always feel like I'm leaving something out. But I guess I'm going to be doing a 2022 project recap. It's going to be coming out not long after this one. And I think in that episode, I will talk about some of my 2023 intentions, although I've already talked about the Desert Vista Dyeworks. It just kind of give a little bit more of an idea. But I'm seeing a lot of people posting their 2023 ideas, and it's giving me a lot of inspiration. So hopefully we can all keep that going throughout the year. So look forward to that 2022 and 2022 recap and 2023 sort of intentions video. And we can talk about what we want to do in the coming year. Hope you all are well and you've had a wonderful holiday and Happy New Year. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye. Cody, no. Cody's going to be a disruption today. Cody, lay down. That dog. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Cody, stop snoring. I swear.